Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. What it do? What it do? Let me make sure everything's set. Please, in the comments, if anything seems to be off with the microphone, if it seems to be hissing or scratching, please let me know. Still working on something behind the scenes with regards to it. But welcome to another episode. We got some good stuff to talk about today. It is episode 81 of Why Always Me. Episode 81 of Why Always Me. I'm your host, I guess. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. Episode 81. So we got a lot to talk about. If you saw from the thumbnail, I still have it on screen. What a time. What a time to be a City fan. We are seeing things. We are seeing things with regards to style of play, with regards to a pursuit for a possible three-peat. And we're also seeing goal scoring that we have never seen before. A lot of historical things happening for our club. And there's no shade to be taken. Rivals want to talk down to you. They want to make you seem like this history is irrelevant or it's nothing special. Trust me, they're wrong. What's happening now, not many clubs have been able to do. So appreciate it for what it is. I got to do things right. You know what I'm saying? Every episode, I got to shout out the first in the building, the first in the comments. And this episode, let's see who's first in the comments. And the first in the comments is my guy FIFA. Lord Vader, thank you so much, FIFA. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying these games that you're able to attend. FIFA. Awful. You know what? I'm going to deal with you right now, FIFA. I'm going to deal with this right now. Listen. He had an assist, and how he served that free kick, how that got to Ake was beautiful, FIFA. You got to give him credit, FIFA. You got to give Mahrez credit. To say that he was awful, I think you're going a little too far. Also, let's be real. The way we were playing that game, it wasn't symmetrical. That help that Jack was getting on that left-hand side. Let's be honest. Silva over there overlapping at times. Ake a little more forward. Mahrez was pretty much isolated. FIFA, Mahrez was isolated. Alvarez wasn't doing any overlaps, and he was playing in KDB's role, and we know KDB's done that often. On top of that, Walker wasn't as advancing, wasn't in the mix. Come on, we gotta take that all into consideration when looking at what Mahrez had to do. But I hear you, man. I hear you. Atonement is in the building. Like and subscribe on the way. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and we're going to get into it. I see the other comments, but we're going to do this thing properly. All right, we're going to do it properly. I'm based out here in Toronto. If you've never been, come out here. Trust me. One of the best countries in the world, and Toronto is one of the best cities in the world. So make your way over here. Definitely catch it in the summertime. Don't come over here in the wintertime. But summertime, it's a great place to come through. So I'm going to do the proper intro. I'm going to show you a little bit of my city, and we're going to kick this off properly. So we got to do this, and we're going to look through the comments. And like I said, FIFA was first in the building. Atonement in there. Big Morgan, top of the world. Hey, Big Morgan, we're top of the league again. We're top of the league. The season's been so stressful, Big Morgan. Look at the Platinums, man. The Platinums are fighting. They're fighting their way through. The youthfulness is fading. My brother at early 30s, he was getting the grays, and I was like, nah, maybe not me, but I call them Platinums, actually not grays. Let me stop. Daniel Vader, Leeds United. Don't mention the T word, Daniel. I don't mention it. Not with regards to what we're doing. We're looking at Leeds. I'm with you. I'm not even thinking about the game after that. I barely stopped thinking about the game that just happened with West Ham. But Leeds is next. I'm with you, Daniel, 100%. FIFA goes, yup. All right, you recognize, right, what Mahrez had to do, what Jack had over that side. It wasn't quite the same, but that assist, Let's give them some love for that. You know what I'm saying? Daniel, one game at a time. I'm not even joking. Been saying it for months now. Daniel, you're right. You're right. And it's that type of vision. When we were just looking at the next game up, we weren't looking at games in hand. We weren't looking at any of that. What game do we have to play? When we had Arsenal fans already counting, here's where City's going to drop points. Arsenal are going to win, 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 win. They're looking past these games. They're looking past games like Liverpool. Mistake, drop points. They're looking at games versus West Ham. Mistake, drop points. They were looking at games versus Southampton. Mistake. Oh, and let me also rewind that. They were looking at a game against us at the Etihad. Another mistake. Trust me. One game at a time. I'm with you, Daniel. True City fan in the building. He's here to support. My man says send him the link. I got getting some backups. Nice. I'm actually sending out the link. Trust me, True City fan. Thank you so much. Let me go through this real quick. Even Martin said he was poor. FIFA Mahrez, he could have been poor, but you got to take in consideration what was happening around him. It wasn't just a matter of him not being up for it. It wasn't. He didn't quite have it. I'm not saying those words, but it's on screen. Daniel goes, Haaland is the best player in the world. What do we want to do as a team? What does every team want to do? They want to score goals. That's what's important. Who is the best goal scorer in the world? It's Haaland. I'm with you, Daniel. I'm with you on that one. Zane, big up Vader, my guy. Good to see you, my friend. I'm thinking about the FIFA. I'm not thinking about that. You're on your own right now. I'll get there with you. Trust me. Right now, nah. Let me do this. Let me make sure. Let me send out the link. Mancunian Way goes, don't be blaming me, LOL, but he was poor for me, to be honest. Stones shouldn't be overlapping Mahrez. I agree. Stones shouldn't be overlapping Mahrez. Walker shouldn't be overlapping Mahrez. But I'm just saying, from a system setup standpoint, you had Silva giving Grealish some help. You didn't have Alvarez doing the same thing on the other side. You know what I mean? My guy Klilnical in the building. I'm so glad to watch Haaland make us worse. A little sarcasm right there. Trust me. Let me send out this link because we're gonna have a combo today. We're gonna have a proper combo. I'm gonna do this. Sorry for the dead air right now. It's terrible. It's terrible YouTube TV that I'm doing, but I'm gonna make it work. We're going to, and as you can see, we got the comments on the side right here, right? If you saw the topics, I should say, the topics that we're going to go through. We're going to do this proper today. Let me post this. Let me get the crew going because we got a lot to discuss. And I want to give you guys a little, girls and boys, I want to give a little bit of homework because I can already see that the agenda is against us, that the way to diminish, the way to poo-poo, the way to slight what City's doing, it's already developing. They're talking about the money game. Oh, of course City's going to win. Of course Pep's going to have success because of the money. I'm going to do this. And if you guys can help, send it through via DMs. You know, if you could do your part with regards to the Twitter timeline, point out what these rivals have been spending the last 5-6 years. Point that out because they're going to try to make it seem like we're having the success because we're outspending them. Nah, dead that talk as much as you can. It will be a show topic at some point in time. So we're going to gather the evidence now. If I can ask you guys to do that and help me out, let's get that popping. I got my guy, my dude, partner with regards to, let me turn that off. Partner with regards to the CIA intelligent agendas. I got True City fan Patrick in the building. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm good, man. How you doing? I just came from work and I just saw the message from Carl. So I was like, oh, is there a show happening?
Big ups. I'm glad you're able to tune in, man. I've kind of pushed it out a little bit. So maybe I can get more of us together and we can have the convo. The topics today are going to be They're going to be nice. We're going to flow right through it. So I'm glad to have you on the show. I'm going to hit up these comments before we get back into it. Daniel goes, Saka 14 goals and 11 assists. Foden 14 goals, 7 assists. One has a world-class season and the other has a poor season. Apparently, my star boy is back. Daniel, that's what I'm saying. And I've been seeing it online on the timeline. We don't need to talk our players up. The evidence is going to show for itself. Let these rivals big up who they want and say, look at these seasons. They're the star boys. They're having a fabulous season. They should be team of the year, all that stuff. When it then comes down to looking at what our players are doing, they deserve to be there. They're going to be there. Trust me. Big Morgan goes, West Ham played better than Arsenal. All right. I'm not. Hey, they were set up. They were set up to make life difficult for us. In no real shape that I think that West Ham were going to actually play so advanced that they would have gotten a win, but they definitely set themselves up to try and get that draw. I hear what you're saying. Ortega starts on Saturday. More rest for Ederson? Yeah, possibly. Daniel, I'm at the point where I don't even care about all this nonsense from rivals about spending. I have only Leeds United in my mind. Daniel, the laser focus that you're showing from a fan standpoint, I'm sure the players are the same way. I just know that we as fans also need to do our duty. We need to do what we can because we know that the rivals, nobody wants us to win. Nobody wants to see City get this 3P. Nobody wants City to even do anything beyond that. No one even wants Haaland to get the goals that he's getting. They don't want that. They don't want to see Grealish looking good and playing well. They don't want to see KDB on a pursuit. I think he's what, 4 assists away from tying 5 from breaking the record all time for assists for a season. They don't want to see that. They don't want that to happen. So us as a fan base, we need to keep that energy and propel them. Big Morgan goes, Patrick skipping home from work. What a week. Nah, man, his work's done. He's come home. Timing works out. Usually, I think True City fan would go to the gym. So the overlap between gym and time wouldn't sync up. So we're good this time around. Zane goes, the T word should be silent, but just a whisper in United fans' ears. United fans are dreading it. And Zane, Zane, you're probably the ones where you're like, you know what? The enemy of my enemy, in this case, because my enemy has been using this talking point so heavily, maybe the angle with regards to another rival, the quote unquote, the noisy neighbors, if they have, again, the T word, then maybe that deads the talk that the rags have been using all this time. Maybe that's something to consider. Now, let's get into the topics. Breakdown shows, and actually, sorry, let me take this off screen, but I'm going to say this one more time. It is a time that we need to recognize as fans of how special it is. I'll be the first to admit, even if we want to go back a couple seasons ago, right? We want to go back to how far we went semifinal wise with regards to Champions League. We want to look at what we even did pursuing and having these battles with regards to Liverpool, with regards to winning this league. That energy, I know it's tense. I know it's stressful. I know it's like sometimes it's just like it's hard to enjoy. But the fact that our team and our teams, in this case, City and Liverpool, have been having this fight, and in this case, this year versus Arsenal, I know it's difficult. We need to appreciate the fight. We need to appreciate we're in May going for this title, because we can easily look at the standings, easily look at these big clubs, these historic clubs, right? These biggest clubs in England, biggest clubs. We can look at that and see where they are, see that they're not even challenging. Let's celebrate what's happening right now. Let's enjoy it, right? Let's recognize it for what it is. It is an amazing time to be a City fan, to be a part of some history-making moments, right? It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Let me take this off screen. We'll get into the topics. Now, you've seen the breakdowns. If you've missed it, check out the True City Fans channel. Check out the Mancunian Way. Those two channels have done post-game analysis. They've talked about the results with regards to West Ham. What I want to actually point out is we keep ticking away. We keep getting these results. We keep the intensity. We keep the focus, because I think at this time of the year, and you hear it, business end of the season, but this time of the year, when you're trying to get that elusive title, stay at the top of the league because another team's been performing well. When you're at this point, you got to be dialed in. Manager, club, players, fans are dialed in. That 3-0 win versus West Ham, absolute quality. And it was done with key players rested. That's what I want to point out. It was done with some key players rested. So when we move on, and like Daniel keeps reminding me, he's only thinking about Leeds. When we move on and we look at the game against Leeds, we got to recognize the players and how they stepped up. That 3-0 win, absolute quality. Moyes did his thing. Forget who mentioned it, but he made them difficult to break down. Arsenal, in the other hand, I think all the players' levels were so high, right? The levels were so high. It's been talked about how Arsenal have been phenomenal. They're running away with this league. Every player, every City player was ready to, to put on a show, to show why the respect needs to remain at City. And rightfully so. And I think Gunnelorian mentioned this. I think also Patrick, there's a little bit of a drop off. Sometimes that energy can't be maintained because of how big of the moment is. Could expect a little bit of drop off, Fulham, West Ham, but you got the results nonetheless. So don't be too critical of the players with what
Yeah.
happened there.
Yeah, like look, man, these players are human beings. And yesterday I saw West Ham got into it, but it's normal. If you play football, right, and you're in a tournament, like I used to play football, and we used to be in a tournament. You used to reach at a point in time where you would start off the tournament with hype. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
go pom 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 pom, you're running,
Mm-hmm.
pressing. There are other games, and in a team that you expect to beat, you find your energy is gone, and then you have to conserve that energy and try to pick up the pieces. The issue in life is people have to remember this. The reason why Man City don't just go full on sometimes it's the players are tired, there's fatigue, or they're trying to be smart and not just overdo it. They'll press for a while and try kill the game. If they
Mm-hmm.
say things are not working out, they'll start playing it around. It's a way to rest and get more energy. You have to pick your moments. Like against West Ham, City just picked moments. That's what
Yeah.
they basically did. But West Ham are funny yesterday, man. They made me laugh, and I was a bit shocked. Do you see how they started off? They went with a high line, pressing
Yeah.
us from the front, and
Yeah.
within 5 minutes they went to back parking the bus. I
Yeah.
think I
They got
think
scared,
his
I think.
plan, yeah, his plan was never pressing from the front. I think he thought of that when he saw Ortega is on goal. I think when he saw the paper that it's Ortega not Edison, he's like try pressing them in the first minutes. Let's see how good Ortega is. Let's see how good Ortega is gonna be if we press them from the front. Then I think when he saw, oh shit, okay, Ortega is half decent. They're getting through us.
Yeah.
He packed it again. I think that was all for Ortega. I think it was just to test out if Ortega is good enough to get the ball or he's going to make mistakes. But to be honest with you, guys, they mustn't. This is what you have to expect. Some of the games will be up for it. They'll go full on, but I think they're conserving their energy and picking the teams apart. They know will eventually score. I might hate to say it. I know some people don't want to hear it like Daniel, but I bet you some of them were like, if we went full on, we get injured. There's a Madrid game on Tuesday. I'm sorry, it is life. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's life as a football player, whether you like it or not. Some of them were like, there's a Madrid game. You should really start pressing high, get risk an injury. That's why they were just picking moments. And you know what? What I've noticed is this City team is matured and there's a bit of maturity,
Mm-hmm.
calmness. Maybe we learned it from Madrid after last season. We don't really phase away because fans were panicking on Twitter, writing, "Oh my God, score, score, score!" You know how some
Mm-hmm.
panic. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we were in a space where people were panicking, saying, "What the hell is going on?" I
Yeah.
heard you chilled at the back. You said we're still going to win. I remember you said those words. We're still going to win. So look, man, people mustn't expect a full on pressing. People will be shocked with Mares if he plays on Tuesday. He's going full on. People will be surprised with most of these players. And Riyad Mahrez was not doing bad. It's the instructions he was given. But
I
maybe
agree.
later on he should have just told to go to stretch the pitch. Because what was happening with Mahrez and Alvarez is they were running into the same space. That's why
Mm-hmm.
things were not great. While Grealish, the other side, was being given all the space.
No, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that. The space wasn't symmetrical on both sides of the pitch, and that's why I was kind of like just pushing back a little and say, nah, let's not say that Mars was awful. Let's kind of recognize that. But I agree with you. There's a lot that was on display against that game: maturity, calmness, and also the point where they know the team and Pep. They know when they're going to maybe press certain players or press certain points within the game because obviously that amount of energy can't be sustained, and we got to pick our moments. I agree with you. I want to point out real quick, and I see what you had to say. But Zane goes, after City got the first goal, they stepped on the neck of their opponents. That's what Arsenal lack. And Zane, I agree with you. What's lacking amongst Arsenal, and it's very evident amongst City, is that when we score, we want another one. The difference is when we want another one, we're not going to expose ourselves and be at risk with regards to counters or overplaying. We're going to want another one, and we're going to make it just as difficult for the opponents to defend. We're going to make their life so difficult from a defensive standpoint that they're going to have to be alert. But we're still looking for that goal. You can see Arsenal when they've gone up 2 goals, they kind of like relax. Oh, we got this in the hand. It's already 2-0, 20 minutes in the game. Yeah, and they've been rudely awakened, rudely reminded that this league does not move like that. Cap goes, good to be in here. Hello, everyone. Cap in the building, my dude. Now, gotta point out what happened in the game from a goal standpoint. Just they got to get their recognition. You win games by scoring goals. All right, you win games by scoring goals. If you don't concede and you don't score, you get a draw. You got to score goals, and this is what happened. What happened in this game? We got to shout out Ake back to the starting 11, and I can't say enough. Ake's quality this year is amazing. It's phenomenal. It was missed. Like in the short time span that he wasn't playing, him back on the pitch, I'm like, ooh, that's why he's been so good. That's why he's been missed so much with what he's been doing. He gets on that pitch defensively. He did his thing. He was a little shaky early. All right, he had to get the game speed. But once he was flowing in defensively, he was everywhere, right time, right place. And where he was for that, quote unquote, Mahrez playing poorly or being awful, for that free kick, Ake was right there for it and sparked the goals. Sparked the goals for what happened for the rest of the game. And we got to say this. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I did in this. Was it in the space or maybe on a channel? I said I expect 2-3-0 win. And I did expect that. I didn't expect all 3 goals to happen in the second half. Let me say that first and foremost. Yeah, the platinums are there. I show some wisdom, but I did not think that. All right, I did not think that. But the 3 goals were nice, and I have to say, and I asked the question. Hopefully, it came through with regards to. I tried to set up a Q&A through the studio or YouTube studio, but I want to ask this question, Patrick. Where were you when Haaland set the EPL goal scoring record for most goals in a season? Where were you when that goal went in?
I was sitting in the TV room though, but it's one of those moments, I was sitting in the TV room. I think because it was I think I was about to walk out to the kitchen to get water, and then I saw your man Danny Ings made a mistake. And Jack took the ball. So I was thinking, is Jack going to be able to pace this right? And then I was like, is Haaland gone offside by that run he did where he diverted the run? Then boom, it's a goal. I was like, my God, because I was doubting him because recently when he's gone 1v1, he hasn't been as evil as he was when he first came to the club. Because when he first came to the club, remember when it was 1v1, it was done, dusted. But recently it was like, I think it was Ramsdale and a few keepers. They got it. They caught the ball, Remember against Bayern 1v1. So this time I was like, what is he going to do? I saw he brought back the chip where he chips the keeper. I think he was like, you know what, I'm done putting them on the floor. But my God, man, it's going to be where you moment, because everybody right now has to appreciate this. You've lived that moment. Even Alan Shearer said my record was there for 16 years. Nobody could break it for 16 years. And he's like...
Isn't it more than that?
Huh?
It's more than that.
I don't know. He wrote 16 years on his thing. He says his. He said his is 16 years. So he wrote.
Okay.
I don't know if it's more than that, but he said 16. No, did he say 16 years? I don't know. I don't know 26. I don't know what he said, 16 or 26. But he said my record has been here for this amount of years. I think he said 26 or something, and nobody has broken it yet. Mm-hmm. So thank God. I wouldn't imagine a nicer person to do it. That's what he said.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure he said 26 or something. I don't know.
I think it was 20. Yeah, I think it was 26. Maybe. And let us know in the comments. I think I was 20. It was 20 plus years. So that's
It
why.
has to be. It has to be
Yeah,
because Alan is retro.
he's been gone for a minute. We got Gunnalorian in the building. The Abbey seems to just be a black screen, but I hope
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
hear
you
us
say
okay.
28 years. Somebody said in the comment 28.
Okay, okay, large up. But Gundo, if you're speaking, I'm not too sure. I'll continue on until I hear you. But
I'm
thanks for
here.
being on the
I'm
show.
here.
Oh, big ups, big ups. So I want to ask you the same question, and I've asked everyone in the comments. You guys let me know one by one. But where were you? Where were you when that goal-setting, that record-breaking city goal-setting record that can still be broken or exceeded? Where were you when Haaland got that goal?
I was in my home office. I have a TV on because I'm always in between meetings. So it was
Mm,
on. And I'm sitting on I'm in my chair, my office chair. I'm watching the screen, and it just happened. And I was like, and you know, I kind of knew in the back of my mind that the next goal was going to be the goal breaker, and I was hoping for a really good. I didn't want a penalty. I didn't want like a penalty goal, right?
yeah,
Because kind
yeah,
of, I wanted a goal that was classic, classy, exquisite, showed balance and skill and movement, and we got that. It was
yeah.
just, once they win the ball in midfield, he starts to run, and he starts to make that S run because he wants to stay on side.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about Vader about I believe that Jack needs to play midfield. I really think so, Vader. I mean the assist he gives to Haaland.
Yeah.
If De Bruyne gave that assist, we would be raving about that assist. We would be.
Yeah, you know what? It was a very good assist. It was a very
Yeah,
good
and it's
assist.
not the first time he's done this.
Yeah.
Jack has such good balance and control in the middle of the park. You can't get the ball off him.
Mm-hmm.
He could play 10, he could play 8. He's the perfect replacement for Gundogan in the midfield. Ergo
Okay.
gets a
Yeah.
winger. But talk about Haaland. I mean, he gets the ball, right? He goes towards his hot spot, the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Keeper comes out. He takes his time, fakes the keeper to go on the ground, and then he chips it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he chips it. He literally chips it with the outside of his foot, his foot, all the way
Yeah.
to the keeper into the
And
goal.
and to what Patrick was saying, because against Arsenal, against Fulham, we were like, not quite the shooting boots in terms of maybe you would have expected. Because we were all in the group chat. I was like, Holland actually owes us 1 or 2 goals based off of the first half versus Arsenal, and we kind of joked about the same thing with regards to Fulham. But you could see, and this is what we appreciate so much. He was getting stopped, or those goal scoring attempts where he was driving the ball along the ground, and yeah, both keepers got their hands down quick and had firm arms to deny him. But you could see how he's still the striking Viking in him to score goals. He's still looking around and how can I improve? Because what he ended up doing to what you both noticed as well was he made it seem like he was going to go low and then just went over the keeper and got his goal. That's the type of player. That's the mentality that we've missed in terms of being that killer and trying to improve and get these goals. He's so deserving of the record. I too am glad that it wasn't set via a penalty, and it was kind of like a, a typical City goal in terms of play through the midfield, a recognition between midfielder and striker Holland, and him getting into space to create an opportunity. He kind of illustrated a lot of his skill set on that one, and yeah, it was great to see. And his celebration, and the way the fans and players reacted to him was great. You can see that they're playing for each other. Let me also say this, because actually have to find a really good photo, because I want something that's going to instantly. I know a lot of graphics were made with him breaking the record, but I want to get a really nice photo of the day of on the pitch, to remain in that memory. It was great. I got a shout out, Daniel. I don't know. I'm putting this on screen, but my guy, come on, man. Daniel goes, I'm gonna be honest. I was in the toilet watching the game on my phone when Holland broke the record. Very different from how I was watching the game, Daniel. Very
It's still
different
a
from
good
what.
moment, though. It's still a great moment.
Is it? Is it a good
Uh,
moment? Hopefully, it wasn't like minor food poisoning or anything like. It was like a hopefully everything's cool on your end. But I respect the fact that you did not want to miss a minute of the game in real time. I respect that, Daniel. That's hilarious. Um, I got to shout out Ake coming back from injury, playing the way he did. I also want to point out we got Foden, who did a little bit of a cameo last time he played, but he played and got on that pitch again. And Patrick, what is it? What the specialness about Foden is so evident when he's on the pitch. Like there's really no one. There's no one that matches his kind of. Actually, I would kind of say Alvarez, but his directness.
Nah, still no.
No, still no.
I'm
Okay,
being honest. I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Like Carl, I know you and me and Carl like Alvarez, but Carl, what I saw yesterday on Veta is they put him down the middle. Carl, West Ham started shaking. There's a way he gets the ball, and when the ball is between his legs, and in Africa, they used to say if your legs are bent like that, like Foden, you're a natural footballer, and it's true. Nobody can take the ball away from you. It's just you're good at football. People always have got these curvy legs where they just curved at the leg. It's always good for ballers. I was looking at it. I saw somebody yesterday that I looked like a future. Foden's future was seen in those few minutes he came for West Ham, because West Ham packed the bus thinking that okay, City are going to struggle. Soon as Foden was getting the ball in midfield, guess what? He was turning them in the midfield. 4-3 players. He was going at them. They had to bring him down. So I was imagining in my head, Carl, that what if one day it's such a Foden and Jack, these would be dangerous in that midfield. You know what I mean? Like if they just like Foden and Jack would be dangerous to me because both of them can charge at you with the ball in the midfield. I liked it when because Alvarez, I think he got knocked a bit and he was limping a bit, and so he wasn't playing as good, but Alvarez was very good in midfield. But Foden looked more comfortable in that midfield and down the middle than Alvarez did. And I don't know, man. Every time Foden comes in, no matter whatever Pep does to him, Foden just looks like he's the best player on the pitch with his cameos. I don't know if it's just me.
No, I hear you on that one. It was his directness, man. It was great to watch. And
that ball and that goal looks, sorry for cutting you. That goal just looks like it was anger towards the manager. See,
you thought he was trying to send a message. I thought it was just he has creativity in almost everything that he does, whether it's controlling the ball, whether it's getting into space, and in this instance, the ball deflected or trying to being cleared out and gets to him. The improvisation, right, and the quality that he has to actually put that ball on target as well. He deserved the result that he got, and he has been missed. I would actually say this, and maybe you guys can do this in the comments as well. Now that Foden's back healthy, but I honestly feel we probably have a Grealish, Haaland, and Foden with all players healthy, and then we have where does Silva sit? Because I think the best midfield is probably Gundo, KDB, and Rodri. So we have some interesting, good challenges, good problems to have with regards to a healthy Foden.
It's very simple. I mean, listen. The reality is that Foden and Bernardo Silva are better out on the right side than Mahrez is. Let's be clear. Yesterday's frustration in the first half was all down to Riyad. Now, Riyad's been great for us, right? Done some good things, but let's be clear. He's too one-dimensional. Everybody knows what he's going to do. He can't press. Doesn't run in behind. When he gets the ball, he checks back to his left foot and passes it back. Doesn't take responsibility. All the responsibility was on Jack last night. To drive. Now, Jack has to be better at finishing, but at least he's brave on the ball. He takes players on. He's direct. He goes towards the box. Riyad doesn't do that. Doesn't offer that. So, if we're going to really seriously think about options that we want to play, it's Bernardo or it's Phil on the right, and Mars is third.
You got Adam in the building. Thanks for joining the show, Adam. Hope you're good. We were just talking about a healthy Foden now, and the dilemma we kind of have with possibly Jack at left wing, Haaland obviously up top, Foden on that right wing, which means Silva gets dropped, which means Mahrez gets dropped, which means Alvarez gets dropped, because we're going to have a midfield of Gundogan, KDB and Rodri. So good players to have. I mean, good problems to have when everybody's healthy. And we'll see where that nets out with incoming players down the road. But I love seeing Foden out there. Where were you, Adam? Where were you when Haaland scored that record-breaking goal?
I was busy celebrating.
Where were you celebrating? I need specifics.
I
Were you in
was
front of the big
I was
screen? Were you at the pub with the fellas?
I was in front of the big screen, and then I saw him breaking the record, and then the next thing I know, I'm shouting, and then at the same time, not trying to not make noise for the neighbors.
I'll tell you this. I was watching the game, same thing. I was watching the game in front of the screen, like Carl, because of our time zone. I'm still between work and watching the game. So my reaction, and for those of you that play dominoes, my reaction was a slap on the table, and I was like, yes, because I wanted him to have that goal, and I've been rooting for him to get that score for a long time. So yeah, I just literally slapped the table like I had the last domino and was cheering him on. Now let me do this proper and clean here. Vader game. Now we kind of talked about it a little bit. The players are showing their talent, right? Whether it's Haaland, whether it's Foden, whether it's Jack, Rodri, the players are showing their talent. And I don't want. I know I get accused of this. Vader, why are you listening to what these rivals are saying? Why are you taking all that in? I'm not really. But I do want us to recognize that we have a great system. City have a great system. Pep gets the best out of these players. But when we want to look at the output that's actually happening, we look at the assists that KDB is getting to. We look at the goal scoring that Haaland's already on. We have other players that have played in those positions that don't look as polished, that don't look as good as what Haaland and KDB are in particular. Even when we want to look at things that don't show up on the stat sheet, like a Silva, like a Gundogan, we have to recognize the talent for these players, guys. No rivals should be saying it's just a system. Put any player in that system and they get the goals. I'm not going to let anybody say put Harry Kane in this system and he does what Haaland does. Absolutely not. I'm not going to have anyone say Odegaard can do the role of KDB. Shut up. It's not true. These players have exceptional talent, and it's been combined with a adaptive, with a developed system from Pep. I know Gundo, I know Martin, coaches, managers of themselves with regards to teams. I know you guys can kind of.
And I play FIFA.
And you play FIFA, yo. Trust me, you know how a manager or a coach looks to get the best out of their players. It's a little bit of a rant. I don't know if you guys want to expand on it, but this talk about anybody could do this in the City system is an absolute lie.
I did. I'm going to expand on it because I heard it today. When I'm going to work these days, I put a lot of podcasts, I put a lot of shows just to listen. So somebody was saying, I don't know, is it Candy, whatever his name is from TalkSport?
No,
like the other guy, Carl, his other co-host. I like the other co-host because the other co-host, when he sees something, he appreciates it. Now Candy was very adamant saying if Harry Kane was put in this City team, Harry Kane will score and break the records. So, where he got caught is, he said, to be honest, every great striker, then he told him, but Aguero was in this system and he never got to even big goals. He never got to a golden boot. And he was pointing at Jesus, Jesus is half decent. So you said half decent strikers will break something. Then he's like, no. Then he says, but Harry Kane would. I don't think Harry Kane would. I'm sorry, he wouldn't. Because Harry Kane is not doing that run against West Ham. The run in behind. Harry Kane is not doing that. He's not that fast. They'll catch him. Harry Kane is not scoring that goal where, again, Haaland is through on goal and they're trying to, he bullies somebody to the floor. Harry Kane is not like that. He usually just falls down. Don't get me wrong. Kane is a good striker. But don't start telling us that Kane could have been having an amazing season like this if he came to City. I don't think so. I think some of this is just to discredit Haaland. And another individual says, "Oh, it's because defenders are not great these days in the league." But what made me laugh is big up to Terry from Football Terrace. Do you know what Terry said? It's like you're the same guys who've been hyping Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. Now all of a sudden, because it's Haaland and he plays for Man City, defenders are not good anymore. Where were you when Messi was getting Ballon d'Ors
Yeah.
and Ronaldo getting the greatest goal scorers? So look, at the end of the day, it's all hate. And you know what? There's some pundits who have respected themselves and retracted from what they say. Like Jamie Carragher has retracted from saying Haaland came to the wrong team. There's people like Roy from the Chelsea fan who have now started saying Haaland has to win the Ballon d'Or. But there's just certain people, I think, that's so stuck and they don't want to go back to what the mistake they made. To be honest with you, what we're witnessing is greatness. This man has played 31 games. I repeat, 31 games. And let's not forget, he keeps getting subbed. You had some knowledge yesterday, where you said this guy has been getting subbed. What if, let's just say, I know that some of the guys were saying, oh, what if he could have got injured? Maybe he couldn't be going this. No. What if that goal, those games where he scored 3 within 20 minutes, he wasn't subbed in the 40th minute? What if he kept on? Because some of the games, it was open house.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, De Bruyne against the Leipzig game, remember, Carl, De Bruyne gave it to Bernardo Silva and Bernardo failed to do the tap-in. He missed it. He mishit it. If that's Haaland, he's scoring again. So people have to be careful because whatever stick you try to throw at this guy he breaks it. Because let's not forget, me and Carl will never forget this better. We were told that when me and Carl were doing those Haaland videos, before Haaland came, I remember somebody pointing out, and I know that was you know those subliminals. I know there's subliminal to us because we were in the podcast. They're like, oh, some podcast is hyping Haaland, but how can we get somebody with attitude of Zlatan? I think I sent that to Carl. I was like, you see, this is towards us because we're us hyping him. But guess what? Carl, I remember he told me on the phone, it's like, how do these people know he has got attitude like Zlatan? Like, just because they're both tall? Because he speaks like that in interviews. Guess what? It was only in Germany he had that attitude of always saying he doesn't want to speak to people. Now he's on Sky Sports smiling, making jokes. And then you see he's one of the nicest people in the dressing room and everybody likes him. Guess what? This guy, people have tried everything, but he's breaking records. He's also breaking the attitude things. People saying he's got an ego. He doesn't have an ego. He's the first one to go hug Alvarez when Alvarez scores. I don't know, man. It's just we're witnessing greatness. And as City fans, when you see people doing this, fight against them. And I'm happy for you, Veta. Make sure these opposition people, you fight against them. Don't let them go. Because when you let them go, they think that they can get away with it.
Yeah. And it's also great because I can see when they're stumbling. I can see when they're kind of stuck and they got to go back on some of the things that they say. Let me put this on screen because Daniel has a great comment. He goes, the biggest strength of our squad is that our players can play multiple positions. They are so intelligent and technically on a high level. That's exactly right. The versatility that Pep actually looks, and again, it's easy to look at players and say, you know what, you see based off of ability, but there's also based off of mentality, based off of intelligence. That's what Pep actually looks out at. And I think some of the scouts make sure to really pick out players that will fit from that standpoint. Because it's not good enough just to have the physical ability. In this day and age, and we talk about mental health, it's also important to have that mental strength.
Well, I mean, just to give you an example of what you just mentioned, right? I mean, you talk about my role here in the USA with the academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have 78-year-olds, right? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday practice, and one of the things that they tell the kids is, if you're gonna join this club or this institution, your mentality has to be right. You don't talk back, right? You respect your teammates. You show humility, but confidence. How you behave is one of the key factors in you progressing as a player. In fact, to the point, Veda, where at the end of each session, each 8 weeks, we give them a report card. Nice. And one of the items on the report card is the psychological perspective or the behavior perspective of that player. They talk about being aware of your teammates, collaborating with your teammates, having a good attitude, coming on time. All those things are part of the makeup of a City player. So it's not just in England that this is happening. It's across the whole world. It's across the CFG. It's across here in the USA with U8 kids.
Nice.
That they're building into play. It's fascinating.
Can I ask? Sorry, can I ask Carl something? So I'm pretty sure this is the reason why I have been one of the, let me see, the culprits of this in the past. We had people like Jaden Bluff, all these other players, who at the end of the day, they failed the attitude test. So, in other clubs, Carl, what I'm trying to say is, even in the past, when I used to play football, there used to be a guy and he didn't come for training on time, but just because he was the best striker they had, they used to comfort him, saying it doesn't matter, just give him the jersey, even
Yeah,
though the
yeah.
game has started 10 minutes.
Oh,
But at City, it looks like if it doesn't matter how talented you are, like Jaden Buff is talented. And I
yeah,
think it's only attitude that because he's at Dortmund now, I bet you it's also the attitude that's keeping him away from Dortmund first team. But Jaden Buff was very talented, you could see, but I think he had sort of diva mentality
yeah. Well,
at
I
a
mean, I
young
have to
age.
run. I mean, I have to have a meeting after we run to now. But think about Calvin Phillips yesterday on the sideline coming in the 90th minute. What is he doing?
Mm,
He's smiling. He's
smiling,
jumping.
eager
Right.
to get it. Yeah.
I guarantee you, right, that Guardiola noticed that attitude.
Mhm.
That will mean more to Pep than anything else. He literally just bought his way to next season with that attitude.
Yeah, I'm in agreement because imagine a player that's coming on in the 90th and they're slumping and they're like, "Yeah, I could. What's the point of me getting on this pitch?" Type attitude. I think you're absolutely right. Especially a player that's going to be behind Rodri, you need them to have that type of. I'm gonna show you what I have, regardless of the minute that I'm coming onto that pitch.
Do you have a picture of it, better? Because that smile, I was
I
shocked.
want to get
Like,
it. I want to make it a gift.
I sent the video. The video is short. All we have to do is think is remove the volume. It's a short video. It's 20 seconds. So I think you can get away with that. I sent it on WhatsApp. But the way he is smiling, like that's the thing about him. Even in the pictures in training, regardless what the media write about him, how I see Kevin Phillips is doing is smiling.
Mhm.
I think that's why Pep likes the player. I think that's why he has him there. But it's just that some people I have seen people get nasty. I saw one conversation get nasty today on Twitter about Kevin Phillips where somebody was backing him and somebody was going very nasty, the nasty route. I was like, who else is going to come to City and smile by sitting on the bench? People have to be careful. Yeah,
Sorry about
yeah,
that. Can you
go ahead.
continue on real quick? Sorry, Patrick.
No, I was just saying, who else can be smiling? Why obviously you're coming off the bench. So I think guys, as City fans, we're gonna have to give Kevin Phillips a lot of time. I think he'll come good because let's not forget he wasn't there for the preseason. I think that's what slowed him down. If he played the preseason, if he played that Bayern game, if he played that Girona game, I think all those games could have helped him gel in. And by now, I think he would have been a different Calvin Phillips. Let's not forget the Liverpool Community Shield. I think if Calvin was well
Yeah.
fit to play that, I think it could have been a different season. Because
Yeah.
people have to be careful. Rodri right now is performing miracles. I am shocked the fact that Rodri's tank is still going because some of these games it had to be Calvin Phillips. But I get it. It's crunch time, and unfortunately, I told you. Remember in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup, yes, he played against Bristol and he was great. But majority of the games this season we played serious teams, and you need somebody who's fit. So Calvin Phillips, man, big up to you, man, and I'm behind him all the way. And I'm always behind my boy Gomez, even though people don't like him. But big up Gomez.
People do like him. They just think that more time needs to be had before we claim for him to be on that starting 11. But no, he's got potential. I know Don Smoke goes after him pretty quick, but at the same time, you got Gomez, Don Smoke's got Perone, so it's gonna be jokes moving forward. But yeah, thanks for coming. My little guy is home sick today, so I had to talk to him real quick. Now, when we look at the topics, and I hope you guys enjoy that I put this on the side so we can kind of have some type of flow. And Carl had to jump to a meeting, Adam as well, but maybe they'll look to join depending on timing with regards to the show. I do want to keep this show as best as I can, no more than an hour 15. If I'm lucky, I actually want to keep this show to an hour for you guys to be able to consume it. But let me say this real quick. And the comments that I put on screen, I didn't really speak to. But Cap goes, he can see Kane with more assists, but not more goals. Yeah, but even that, I think it's slightly more assists, just slightly. Because I think Haaland has put a lot of passes in some great spots for our players to deliver on, and they just hadn't come through.
I would say how though because I don't think Kane will get more assists from this team because that's a job for De Bruyne and the others. I think I don't know. It's just people have to be careful. Do you know what I love about this season? the fact that Haaland has beaten Kane in goals and assists. Because if Kane had more assists, there could have been a narrative. This narrative could have come out. But it's been defeated because Kane has failed to make more assists this season.
I know, but the reason why I want to also point out, I don't think it would have been much if it were at all, because again, the other players would have to score these goals. Haaland has served up some very great passes in the 18-yard box. He's given opportunities for some of these players to score, and it just hasn't happened. So I wouldn't kill him too much. I do love the balance that Haaland's providing, because to your point, it's killing some of the narratives, some of the agendas that were already drafted and ready to go out there. And Cap goes, I will never forget the Nunes-Haaland rivalry at the beginning of the season. That was overly forced, Cap. We know that. Because we've been going neck and neck for a couple seasons with Liverpool, they were forcing this Darwin Nunes, their big purchase over the summertime, to line up against our moderately purchased Haaland and try to make this rivalry. It wasn't going to last because Haaland was at another level. Daniel also pointed out, he says Harry Kane is a loser. If you're going off trophies, you're right. We'll see whether Kane decides to make a move. Daniel also goes, we have watched Calvin Phillips carry Leeds United. We saw him performing against us. There is no doubt in my mind that he has the quality. Let's hope he can kick on from now. Kick on from now for sure, because I think we're going to need him with these last few games in the league, as well as giving maybe some, not necessarily some minutes, but in some of the other cup runs. If fatigue does happen to hit, he needs to be able to step in there. Next season is going to be huge for Calvin as well. Daniel goes, Perone is my guy. I invested in his stocks from day one. Perone is nice, man. Perone is nice. And the fact that it was him and not Enzo Fernandez, right, speaks a lot too, because obviously price tag was important with regards to those decisions at the time. Perone will be world-class, FIFA is saying. FIFA with the chest. Kane is a high-line merchant. Okay, not mad at that, Daniel. Kane is the biggest loser in the Premier League history. That's a fact. If we're going off trophies, you happen to be right. He's scoring a lot of goals, but what is it netting out to be? Now, I'm going to do this cleanly.
Vader game.
Patrick talked about this. All right, if you don't know, sometimes I'm able to feature on some other channels, right? You know, True City Fan. He's able to be on the Football Terrace at times. He's also on several other channels, but more in particular, he's on the Football Hut with our dude HH. Have hope, and it's great. He's a Chelsea fan. It's good banter. It's always playful, and jokes nonetheless. But he has his certain angle of what he's taken with regards to Haaland. And he's losing this battle right now. He's losing the Haaland battle because what he was really holding on to was this eye test. And the eye test is great because you can keep moving the goalposts. You can keep saying, I want to see this, I want to see that. You can keep doing that. However, what do we all want? What does his club desperately want? And we're only able to get one over so many games versus Arsenal. They want goals. They want strikers that don't fade away and lose their ability to score or even be effective. They want something with substance, and that's goal scoring. Haaland doesn't need to pass any eye test. I don't care who's taking it. I don't know who's applying the eye test. What everyone should be doing and applying to Haaland is, does he score goals? And I said this I believe I said this in a tweet. I can't wait, because you know what's going to happen, because they did it to the highest goal scoring for our club last season. When Haaland and the season's over, I can't wait to see the YouTube or Twitter compilation with all his goals scored, because it's going to truly remind or inform those that fail to see it that he scores a variety of goals. He scores a variety of goals, different angles, different pressures from defenses. The man is quality. So I don't care about your eye test. I care whether my striker is scoring goals, and he's scoring goals better than anyone we've ever seen in the history of the league. Manchester City, you rivals want to say we have no history. Well, we are breaking. We are doing things better in the league that has this history that's ever been done before. So how about damn apples, you rivals? Let me go to the comment. FIFA still on Harry Kane. He goes, Kane is washed. If he's washed, United fans want him. They want him bad. I heard Arsenal fans, they want Kane. How about that? Another London club going, they want Harry Kane. See where the net's out.
Vader.
Oh, my
Vader.
bad.
Vader game.
Now, I kind of spoke about this a little earlier with Carl, so I'm not going to touch back on it, but I'm going to remind you, just because we have it on screen, it's not just the city system. It's also the players. We heard the comments. Pep, the board, the scouting, looking for players that have a certain skill set, have a certain mentality, ability. The versatility is huge. Look at what he did with Fabian Delph. Look at what he's done with Zinchenko. Look at what he's done even with Gundo. Gundo's been playing false nine, right? You just look at the versatility of even having a Sterling to play on both sides of the pitch when he was here. Look at Foden. Foden can play left, play right. It's not isolated that way. It's the versatility. And when we have those that have the vision and can look at the style of play and see Foden playing out on the wings, Grealish playing out on the left wing, and then that being suggested for them moving more central, it's not the system, man. It's Pep getting the most out of these players. And there's a reason why when these players leave City, they don't quite kick off. They don't quite do what they do over here. It's a built system, and it's also a built synergy amongst the players. It's perfect, absolutely perfect. All right, I'm gonna ask for some homework. Not to be done by next show. Something to think about. If something happens to come across on your timeline, if something with the YouTube algorithm happens to send you this, keep it in mind. Send me the link, via Twitter DMs if you can. Let me know in the YouTube comments. Yo, Vader, I came across this. Might want to check it out. But we know with what we're pursuing and what we're about to do and the potential success that we're going to have. All right, we're not going to say anything specific, but we know what we're pursuing. And yes, Daniel, I'm focused on Leeds game. I'm focused on the Leeds game. All right, don't kill me. But they're going to come out. Rivals are going to try to minimize. They're going to try to dismiss. They're going to try to put shade. They're going to try to throw salt, all of that on what we're doing this season. Let's look at this and recognize it for what it is. It's hate, and they're going to have their talking points. But let's make sure that they cannot talk about the only reason why City is having this success. We won 4 out of 5. We're on the verge of winning 5 out of 6. Let's not have them talk about that amount of winning, that success, the way we've been able to hold off these rivals from trying to win these titles, the fight that we've had between us and Liverpool and now us and Arsenal. Let's not have them talk about that and just throw the money card at it. City's only doing it because they're state-owned. City's only doing it because they splashed the cash. Let's look at what these rivals have spent the last 5-6 years in comparisons to City, and we're going to dead those talks. All right? That's the homework that I'm going to throw out there. That's what we're going to push back with regards to these rivals and silence them when they try to run that angle. All right? Maybe we don't do it here on Why Always Me. Maybe it's something that we do in depth when I got the intelligent agents and we have that counterintelligence to apply over at CIA that we do on Sunday, 9 p.m. UK time. All right? That's how you plug. Now, let me do this.
Vader game.
And we're going to keep this show nice and sweet. But, Patrick, I got to ask you, man, because I know you're going to do a preview. This next game we got against Leeds United. Your gut right now. We're not going to do a proper preview, no analysis, no possible 11. We won't go that far. Well, what's your gut telling you, knowing that when we play, we're also going to be playing on Tuesday in the Champions League? What kind of 11 do you kind of see playing?
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to risk De Bruyne, but he always plays De Bruyne when Bona comes from injury because he says De Bruyne needs rhythm, so he plays him. Remember, He always throws them. I remember that when De Bruyne was injured, it was also before Madrid.
Yeah.
Because before the Madrid game at home, he played him, and people were like, "What is he doing playing De Bruyne?" And he says he needs rhythm, and then he takes him out. I bet you De Bruyne is going to start, and people will have the jaws to the floor saying, "Why?" But he did that. He's done it before. He says because
Yeah.
De Bruyne is a player that needs rhythm, so you have to play him in. I don't know, man. He had Gundogan on the bench against West Ham. I'm pretty sure Gundogan is going to play. But would that mean Gundogan plays again against Madrid? I don't know. Maybe it's enough rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say we're playing on Saturday 2:00 here. Is it 2:00? Yeah.
I
Then
think so.
Sunday, Monday. That's 2 days of rest for Gundo. I don't know, man. I just have a feeling that we'll beat them. It's at home, and I don't think the boys will, even if it's Phillips on that pitch or Laporte or whoever throws on that pitch, I think they'll still beat Leeds United because I know for sure Foden is playing and Foden is hungry. Foden has been kept hungry purposely by Pep, and Foden looks hungry. That Leeds United defense is poor. Like what's his name? Sam Allardyce has inherited West Brom, and we slapped West Brom. I remember that time we were playing against West Brom, and people were like, "Oh, Sam Allardyce is going to do this," and we managed to beat West Brom, and West Brom went down.
I remember.
I don't think Leeds are gonna go down, but I don't think this is where Sam Allardyce does his magic. I don't think this is where it is because we are at home. I think it feels away.
That's
it feels
what I'm
away.
saying.
Yeah,
You know
it feels
what?
away.
You know what's crazy? I actually thought we were playing away at Leeds. Like
Nah, it's 2 game home games.
know,
That's what I said on the space. I said I'm happy that before Madrid is 2 home games.
Yeah, I didn't even for whatever reason I had forgotten that. I thought we were playing away, so I was like, that's going to be a tricky one. But the fact that we're home, I was actually a lot more calm. So that's actually really nice before we travel to go to Real Madrid. I agree. I'm not gonna, and again, those of you in the comments, and thanks for watching the show. I'm not gonna spend any time trying to guess on what the 11 is. All right, because again, we're gonna be playing that game on Saturday. We've got time. But the fact that we play Saturday and Tuesday, like I was just asking Patrick, it's going to be interesting to see what Pep does in terms of who starts. I agree. I think KDB does start to get that rhythm in terms of.
I think he'll start Ake also, just to keep him fresh and take him off again.
Start game intensity, and then he probably takes them off in terms of managing the game. So that's going to be an interesting to notice. And if Foden does start, because Foden got subbed on, if Foden does start, maybe that's also a point where he gets that rhythm and will be a starter as well. We may see a Grealish, Haaland, and Foden in that Real Madrid game.
Do you think Silva is the one who's going to sit it out? Because that's the only midfielder who played the whole full 90. I think Silva will sit it out. I think, do you know what? As much as I want Foden, I think Silva will still be the one against Madrid handling Vinicius, making sure that he's running for. I think Silva will be brought there to help out with Vinicius and
that's
a
good call.
Yeah,
that's a good call. See, and we got some breakdown to do with regards. We do have some breakdown to do when it comes down to that. Daniel, I'm not talking. And again, sorry, I'm not talking Real Madrid. My bad. Relax. Don't kill me, Mike. My guy. What Daniel's got to say? I would play Foden in midfield and Bernardo on the right against Leeds. Okay, Daniel's still thinking about Leeds. Yes, I'm with you on that one. I would play Foden in the midfield and Bernardo on the right against Leeds. That's interesting because we also have to look at time management and mileage going on these guys' legs. But I hear you on that one. Our intensity drops 50% when Mahrez plays.
Mahrez will still be there. I'm telling you, believe it or not, just because of how that Leeds United are not going to be running the other side. I think I'm telling you, because that I've noticed Real Madrid is usually put in games where that's why things don't work out for him in the Prem, because Mahrez plays very well in the Champions League because teams don't pack the bus. So he's got space to work in. But the thing is, Pep likes using Mahrez when he knows that he doesn't need somebody to be tracking back. So he knows that, okay, they're coming to our home ground. They're going to pack the bus. So he puts Mahrez against Leeds because he knows Leeds will not be attacking. So there's no need for Mahrez to track too much. So you find Mahrez is going to play this game. But I have a feeling that Bernardo Silva, I was about to say David Silva. Bernardo Silva is key in this UCL. I'm telling you.
He is
key in this UCL. And I think after playing 90 minutes against West Ham, you won't be surprised that it's actually Gundo in midfield. And it's actually Bernardo sitting on the bench resting.
Yeah.
And then he has either one of Akanji. I don't think he'll drop Diaz. I think he doesn't want to drop Diaz at all.
I don't think he drops Diaz, but at the same time, the way Diaz has been managing these games, he's like, He's in that right spot. He's not really running too much. He's done things well, and it's gonna be a tricky one. Ibrahim goes Mahrez, Abanchik Mahrez, 100%. The thing with Mahrez and Silva actually brings us as well, but not to the same level. Mahrez does stretch the pitch so much because anything that gets kicked to him, like he takes it down and he keeps that width. Like he keeps that width, and it's so difficult for a defender having to come out there. So I'm with you on that one. Daniel goes, United will lose 5-1 today against Brighton. Remember this comment. I'm gonna remember that. I'm starting it right now, Daniel. That'll be great. That'll be great jokes. Daniel also goes 3-3. Oh, FIFA goes 3-3 in his opinion. All right. KDB is back in training. Yeah, I don't think it was ever anything where we should have been stressing out with KDB. I think Pep did the right thing in terms of having him rest, but he should be back to get that rhythm in the next game. He's lazy half the time. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. The way he tracks back doesn't have that same intensity, right? The way he does take that ball and kind of drives at players when he does drive to them. No, but I know what you meant. Daniel, no hate lost with regards to United. I'm with you on that one. Now, I'm going to do this. YouTube, do not copy strike me. Do not copy strike me. I want to point something out with regards to Manchester City. And we got my man, Mancunian Wade Martin in the building. Thanks for joining. True City fan. I think had to drop or his connection. But this is one thing I wanted to point out real quick. The way we've been playing, and Martin, thanks for joining, my friend. The way we've been playing has been incredible, absolutely incredible. And I want to see a little more of this. All right, I want to see a little more of this because I think we have opportunities. Whether it's Gundogan, whether it's Rodri, even I want to see this from Silva as well. But it's the build up play centrally that I think we have opportunities for teams that do bunker down and have five at the back and pretty much at the edge of their 18-yard box. And I'm going to play this strictly for analysis and review. YouTube, do not copy strike me. This is strictly for analysis and review. But we're going to look at a little build-up play in the middle of the pitch. All right? As you can see, Rodri gets the ball here, and he's scanning. He's just scanning the midfield. He's looking up to see where he can deliver the ball. And the thing that he is such he's a large player. He controls that midfield and he guards the ball really well. But you can see how he just shifts his body weight and eliminates a player. Look at the amount of space that he has. And he's driving. He sees Stones, but he places that ball over to Haaland. And this is what I want to see a little more of, whether it's between Haaland, whether it's between KDB or Alvarez that kind of occupy this position. Because I think we have the skill set to do this. I think we put defenses under a little more pressure to have to make decisions and be careful with how they put in those standing tackles. Well, you see Haaland with his hold-up play a little bit. And he waits for Rodri to make the run-through. And again, if the run-through is going to happen, we got to make sure someone's covering him off. But that run-through can keep players on alert, because if they're already paying attention out wide with the Grealish and the Mahrez and that the defensive five that tend to sit there are kind of spread out, there's room within that middle with the two-man game. And I want to see a little more of that. But we see Rodri here, and he gets into the space. He just off balance just a little bit. And I think he's unlucky here that ball didn't go at the back of the net. But it's one thing I want to see a lot more of. And I think that element is going to be key to us, because it's going to force midfielders to be on. It's going to force players to have to track when the pass is made or the pass is given, and they can maybe do a give and go. FIFA in the building, he goes, I'm not saying those words, but yeah, I see you. Virtual Oath goes, what about Leeds? They have Big Sam. Big Sam, short turnaround to get those guys prepared to play against us at home. I like our odds. I'm not mad at that. Pitch Points is back in the building. But I like our odds when it comes down to Leeds coming to the Etihad. And I'm going through these comments. Edison in the building. Hey, big AC Milan fan. We're going to talk after the Leeds
Oh,
game.
what a final that would be if we get there. That would
Yes.
be.
It's going to be special. And Edison, we are going to talk. I got Leeds to worry about, and then after Leeds, then I'll be putting my sights on Champions League, and we're going to have a proper combo, my friend. Cap goes for me. Rodri's second best player this season after Haaland.
That's true. So
Yeah, I
consistent.
agree.
Even the time when the team was bad, he was still dropping 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
And that UCL goal against Bayern, Gary Neville said he might remember this if they win the UCL. This is one of the moments he unlocked that Bayern team.
Yeah, that's true. He's had some moments. He's been key, and also when it's been so consistent and understated, he's doing his job. Like he's been so quality, and we all know. I mean, Cap. We all know how important Rodri is because we've been also claiming we want him rested because a rested Rodri, a fresh Rodri, is different player. Edison goes, Vader. Napoli are becoming champions today. The game just started. Let me know if you're interested on a 30-year drought.
Maradona. I may just switch that on in a minute. That's a good idea.
Edison, great point. Thanks for the reminder. It is. It's historic, man. It's historic. Like these spans, these droughts. Yeah, it's huge. And shout out to Napoli. I know you guys did your thing last year. This year is Napoli, but it's actually great to see kind of like a resurgence of these teams and their success. Ibrahim goes, Pep new system is so much benefiting for Jack and Mahrez. He's developed the system to get the most out of the players. I like it. And there's still more to happen because again, we're focused on this year, but we know there's been some players that have exited and there hasn't been players that have replenished. He's made do with what he has, whether it's bringing some players up from EDS, but even squad wise, we don't have that depth. And when we do, Ibrahim, it's going to be nasty, man. It's going to be nasty. Daniel goes, this is the most complete City team. It has literally everything: goals, control, physicality, mentality, technical ability. We can dominate games, but also sit back and destroy teams with KDB and Haaland. With all of those, we do have all of that. I agree with you. And I'm not going to say we do have all of that. I'm going to leave that. It does. Those qualities do fall on some players that we can't quite have. And I'm not saying sub like for like, but the depth is something I know we're going to strengthen moving forward. Ibrahim, Ake is our own unsung hero. He's getting his praise. His injury when he got that little hamstring grab, we all held our breath. Happy to see him back.
Yeah. And to be fair, on the show here, we didn't think it was that serious. We just thought it was precautionary.
Yeah. And the fact that he could rest
in hysteria, which is always. Yeah.
Do you know when I saw? Sorry, Kafkani, but when I saw Ake has become something amazing. I was speaking to my friend, the Madrid fan. Remember that one who's always very overconfident. Big up to him because he knows his team. He will tell you that if you don't kill us in 30 minutes, you will be destroyed. Then it happens. But today he was talking about our team. Since he's been watching our team, and he says he's scared of Nathan Ake. And I was like, what? It's like I was actually happy that Ake is out, and seeing him against West Ham, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, because I know who was going to go against Ake, and that particular individual against Ake is not going to do anything because Ake doesn't move. He's not a fullback that moves. He's a fullback that will let you attack him. He'll show you your weak foot. It's like I don't know if you're talking about Rodrigo. I think Ake's not playing Rodrigo's side or something. It's like I just know Rodrigo, if he plays, he's going to struggle against Ake, or whoever we have is going to struggle against Ake. And you coming Ake has actually made me more scared now. And he says now our team is not good at those set pieces, and I've been watching Ake with those set pieces. He's always there. And I was like, I think that's what Pep wanted. He wanted a team full of giants because our team, there was a point in time where it used to be the height. Yeah, the height was very small. Yeah,
I agree. It's a good balance. I remember.
Good or bad news?
I think you're gonna have to mute, Carl. We can hear you.
We heard you.
We can hear you. Just mute him better. Mute him on StreamYard. Yeah. You're gonna have to mute him on StreamYard.
No, I got him. I got him muted. And he can unmute himself, or will he have to message private chat for me?
Nah, he can unmute himself when he's done.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Now, let me also put this on screen. Grealish can't score a goal to save his life. Forrest, relax, man. He can. He's just needs a little more poise, a little more calmness in front of goal, and pick his spots. I'm sure him and Haaland are going to be working together. But let me also put this on screen because I want to point something out real quick. Let me do this because I think it's deserving. All right.
Who's got wipers on? Who's that?
I think it's Martin.
Martin, is that you with the wipers? I was wondering. I was like, I might hearing things.
No, I'm not. I'm pulled up now.
Oh,
The signal went. I was in a really bad area.
Oh, I want to put this on screen. YouTube, do not copy strike me. All right, this is strictly for analysis and studying purposes, and we're gonna have a key observation. I think is only deservingly right. It's right to just put this goal on screen. I asked the question, and actually, I'm gonna ask this of Martin. Before I play the video, because I've asked everyone in the chat. Where were you? What were your surroundings? What did you see? What were you smelling? What were you hearing when Erling Haaland broke single season goal scoring record in the Premier League? Where were you, Martin?
15 yards away in my seat watching him do it. It was crazy. It was very weird to be that. He literally celebrated in front of me. It was like crazy.
So, just for the record, what you see on screen right now is Jack ball to feet, attacking the defense. You see Haaland looking over his shoulders, seeing that Jack has the ball. He's going to scan forward, see where the defenders are, and he's going to pick the spots that he's going to run into. All right? We've seen this. We've seen KDB do this. Outside foot, inside foot, putting the right weight on the ball. We saw him actually do this for Alvarez, which was actually phenomenal. If we remember, Alvarez controlling his feet, letting that defender get past him, and then kicking it top shelf.
The thing about this graphic, and I want to be very clear, is hello Martin, how are you? Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, is Jack knows where Erling likes the ball. So right there, he has a choice to play the ball between the defenders. He doesn't do that. He knows Erling's hotspot is on the left side. He knows he likes it on that left side, that left bias, right? So he waits until Erling is accelerating and plays the ball outside of that defender, right there. Watch, right there, right? Let it go. Wait, right there. See, he makes the run and then he passes the where? The left side. Let it go again. Bang, right there. See that? He knows that.
You know what's funny too? So I'm gonna play this, and this is what's actually 100% hilarious to me. He passes the ball, and Jack is like, "My job's done." Jack is like, "This goal's happening." Watch what Jack does when he gives him the ball. Yeah, he chills. He doesn't run into space anymore. He knows it's the goal. It's absolutely hilarious.
You know the thing on that, mate, is this is what people forget sometimes. Those two have got a friendship now that will last forever. You watch them; they are inseparable.
Yeah,
Jack and Erling are inseparable at the moment. They're like two kids at school that just want to play football constantly.
I can understand that.
You can't buy that connection, that chemistry. Like Erling said, they talked about it in the dressing room before they went out. And that's why Jack just stands there and goes, "Yeah, done my bit." Because he knows he knows what's coming. He knows what to do. Jack's probably already celebrating in his head going, "Yeah, that's it, done."
Martin,
so you can't buy that.
Let's not forget, Martin, right? The very first goal Erling Haaland scores for City against Bayern Munich in the USA at Green Bay Packers Field was provided by Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
And the goal that he uses to break the record was provided by Jack Grealish.
Yeah. It's a chemistry that will not be broken with them two. You can see them two being mates for life. I watched a video about 2 weeks ago, and they're doing pranks on each other as sat in the car. And it's like just watching two 15-year-olds just having a laugh and a giggle, being kids. And it's something you cannot buy with that.
That's how he was with Jude and Sancho. And that's why they were assisting him a lot.
Yeah. People seem to think that football, you just go on a pitch and knock a ball. You've got to have the chemistry. You've got to know where. That's why Kevin's so good at it. He knows where someone's going to be before he's even done it. And Erling Haaland knows exactly where to go. They know where they're putting the ball because they know where Erling's going to be. And I'm like I said, I'm late to this, but I heard someone say Erling Haaland's world class. No, Erling Haaland is above world class. Erling Haaland, it is up there with Messi and Ronaldo. And I don't care what anyone says. They can laugh at me, think I'm going OTT. This guy is something we have never seen before. Everyone laughed. Everybody laughed, coming out of that Community Shield. And it was, it's crazy to think that this team's worse, this team's that. And we said, you get a top beyond world-class striker, he will score goals.
Forrest has got jokes.
Yeah.
Forrest has got jokes. He goes, we don't care about friendships. We want to win the Champions League. Forrest, I hear
without friendships, you won't win titles.
But, yeah, without friendships, without that camaraderie, without that playing for each other, when moments get difficult, when things get kind of tight, you don't get the results you want. It's great that these guys have this bond. And also, when we want to look back early in the season, it might have even been preseason when Jack and Haaland were kind of talking about, I'm gonna put this ball across the 18-yard box, across the 6-yard box, be ready for it. They're just gonna build off of it. I like how these guys are coming into the.
You got to remember that they spend more time with each other than they do with their own families, probably.
Yeah. No, there's a huge.
And people forget that. And I know people will. You have got to care about the friendships. You don't get what we did at the end of the game. Name me another club or team that's ever done what we did with Erling Haaland last night when we give him a guard of honour coming off the pitch. Yeah, you could see it.
Love to see it.
The guy has embraced everything. And this is why. When people say to me, we heard Aguero's going to go to Real Madrid. David Silva will go to Real Madrid. Company will go to Barcelona. No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
And again, in the moment, in what's happening right now, I could care less about the speculation. I could care less about the rumors or what you guys may think will happen down the road. And that's why we celebrate right now. We live it for what it is, and we enjoy it. I think what Haaland's also doing, and who said this? Cap actually goes. He goes, I was there for the first City goal and witnessed the start of a legend. This is a thing. This is, and I know I'm not articulating this the right way, but it's something. This is something different when it's record-setting, when it's jaw-dropping, when it's never been seen before. You gotta appreciate it. And also my appreciation is going to be fighting against others trying to diminish it. That's one thing that I'm going to take on, because I'm not going to let anyone try to make this seem like it's not special or try to make it seem like it's routine. He's breaking records that have stood for over 2 decades, and he's closing in on things that can all actually happen that have been a lot longer than that. Sorry, go ahead, Carl.
I mean, Vader, Martin and Patrick, think about that goal for the record. It's easy for us to gloss over this because it's become almost normal. 52 goals in 40-something games, right? But think about that moment. Think about the pressure of trying to score that breaking goal where he chips the keeper.
Yes, and Carl, look, I paused it. That's still not an easy goal. Like, look at the space.
Goal. He has to chip the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
What's the option? Go around the keeper?
Coming down his back. Yep.
And by the way, Fabianski got something on it.
Yes,
he did get something on it, and
it's
still got. And do you know what the funny thing is? I don't know if they showed it on the TV now. Haaland had made those runs all night. Yeah. That was not the first run that Haaland had done like that.
Yeah.
Haaland had been doing that the whole game.
Hmm.
So one of them's always going to come off.
Yeah.
That wasn't just a spare of the moment, oh, make me run inside and look where it goes.
Yeah.
You see, if you'd have got a bit more to the left there, you'd have seen me.
This is the thing, and I had to say this on Spaces, and I think for those watching, those attending, these are special moments. These are special moments. So again, I asked the question, where were you when? I hope you were able to answer. I also wanted to point out these goals that are being done. Let me go back to this comment because I started, but I didn't bring it up. If you guys want to chime in on it, feel free. But Edison asks, any thoughts on the Neymar leaving PSG? We'll see what happens when it does happen. It's been talked about him leaving for a while. Neymar and Messi maybe both leaving this year. It speaks to the end of PSG, if you ask me. And then Ibrahim goes, Jude going to Real Madrid is a blessing in disguise. You can imagine if signed some young player like Gabi, Viega, Vritz, Madison, etc., it would be dodging a bullet, 150 mil.
Say Madison out of that. Say Madison out.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah,
Say Madison out of that one.
We'll leave it. We'll leave that. We'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone. But again,
No thanks.
where business is going for some in terms of the signing, that's a price tag it is high. It's steep. Part of it was that player coming to the English Premier League, so you can kind of understand it. This price tag applied to an English player going to La Liga, I'm scratching my head. So we'll see. Real Madrid are looking to spend that. They've spent big before. Venga. They spent big on. Say it again.
Haven't they come out and said that? Well, apparently they'll only go to 100 million euros.
I have not seen that. But I'm not surprised.
It's come out from Spain. They'll only go to 100 million euros. That's why Dortmund went. Pardon. Basically, they've done a Liverpool. This is what Judy's doing. What Haaland's doing. He's going around doing his meetings, agreeing personal terms everywhere, and just see where he lands.
Or it's still gonna be some drama that we're gonna have to continue to wait and see. Adam was able to rejoin. Adam, I'm actually at the end of the show with regards to what we wanted to discuss. But if you want, really quick, Leeds City. I was reminded, and I happened to forget. My bad. I thought we were playing away. We're playing at home. Leeds. Who do you want to see up front playing for us, Adam?
You know where I could see a scenario? I could see us starting Haaland and then say, taking him off. Say we keep what I pretty much said against Leicester is what I said against Leicester was kill the game off early, take off the big hitters, and that's the same thing I'll say. Yeah, kill off Leeds, kill the game off early. 3-4-0. If say we're 3-4-0 first half, second half we can do the substitutions. Take off Rodri, Gundogan, Akanji, Haaland, all of these likes,
I hear that. I'm not mad at that approach. We establish dominance. We get the goals. We show them that they're not going to get a sniff of the game.
And let's not forget, Real Madrid have a cup final this weekend. It's a very serious cup final.
That's true.
Which they have to win.
Yeah. If it was a league game, I'd be like, they're not. And they've already had their subs to be prepared for this cup final, and they're obviously not thinking about the league anymore. They've conceded that to Barca, so it's this cup final, and then it's going to be us that they're really focusing in their entire season on. So it's going to be a fight, but I'm actually amped for it. It's one of those seasons where you get a chance to play against a team that you feel like you didn't catch us when we were at our best, and I want another shot at it. So it's going to be great. Let's deal with Leeds, and then we got Real Madrid.
I would probably prefer Haaland to Alvarez in this game, only because I know what Sam Allardyce's teams do. I know what they do.
I think we're going to see both because
I think you're going to need a bit of bully buy-in from there. I think Haaland needs to be the bully buy on him.
I think the fresh legs. I think having both players sharp because they're going to be required to play in Champions League. I think maybe not both playing at the same time, but maybe we got Haaland and we have Alvarez for both of them to.
I've got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
If, since some people want to say that they want to rest Rodri, I saw this scenario where if say how about this, we play what's his name, Gundogan in that pivot role, and then you've got in the midfield with him, yeah, KDB, Bernardo Silva,
Mm-hmm.
rather than that way you get to rest Rodri. So what do you guys think of that? Or the other option is, I know people are not gonna like this, yeah.
Okay.
You throw Calvin Phillips in.
I don't think Calvin Phillips gets a start. I don't think he gets a start, but I think he does play versus his old team. You know, so whether that means he gets subbed on at like the 50.
To be honest with you, that smile of his got him a start.
You think so? You think he's starting? Oh,
I don't know, man. I've never seen. How was it at the stadium, Martin? Because the way he was smiling, I've never seen somebody smile who's been going through all that abuse online, and he's smiling like that and happy. I was so delighted to see somebody smiling and showing great attitude.
I thought there was a feel-good moment when that Haaland goal went in. There was a total feel-good moment around the whole squad. Everything was ready. And we'll talk about that tonight, FIFA. Sorry, Vader.
Nah,
Gotta mention it. Can't ignore it anymore.
You guys can talk
5
about
games. Four to 5 games away.
I am not talking about it until
No, I think for me, my only worry is, and I'm going to get crucified for this. I know I will. But I would love to give Jack a rest, play Phil, and I would go with that midfield Adam's just said. The only problem is you're going to have to play Mahrez on the right. And I'm sorry,
Martin, I agree with you 1,000,000%.
I'm sorry, Riyad Mahrez. And people think I'm being a thing, but when John Stones is doing more attacking stuff than Riyad Mahrez is doing, I have an issue now. I have an issue at this point.
Victor, what did I say earlier on today?
John Stones was running past Mahrez and waving at him.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Mahrez was playing right back last night.
What did I say?
Because if you look last night, you had Riyad Mahrez and Kyle Walker. No, but if you notice, later, nothing went down the right hardly. Because Walker and Mahrez, I don't know, and I don't want to go in and Walker just did his job. You notice Walker didn't go forward last night a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because it was Antonio, I don't know. But you had Mahrez who then just was playing stuck in the mud. Everything was going down the left because there was no movement on the right other than John Stones.
Yeah.
It was totally unbalanced. Everything had to go down that left-hand side because you had the chemistry between Bernardo and Jack and nothing between Mahrez and Walker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I get, you'd maybe get away with it for Leeds, but this is not the time to tiptoe around now.
All right. This I got to do this, and I don't care. I'm extending the show, but I got to do this. Now, when you point out that the Mahrez and Walker combination wasn't quite working, we weren't really looking at the Ake and Grealish combo. We were looking at the with the Grealish and Silva combo. So it wasn't symmetrical in terms of what Pep, I think, instructed the guys to do on both sides of the pitch. So, yes, I agree. Mahrez wasn't great, but it wasn't like he had the same space or same support in terms of trying to break down the defense on like Grealish and Silva on that side.
Would you not say Kyle Walker and Ake are different, though? Because Walker will attack. Walker can get down the line and overlap. Nathan Ake's an out-and-out defender. He's not someone who'll cut down the line and overlap.
But Ake wasn't asked to overlap, and we saw in this game Walker wasn't asked to overlap. We did still see Silva go wide of Grealish. We didn't see Alvarez go wide of Mahrez. So I think it's just what Pep instructed them to do. I think it's tough. I do agree that Mahrez needs to be more aggressive. When Mahrez does his I'm gonna go. I'm bringing it to my left. I'm gonna shoot, and he gets that defender to hesitate. Either shoot the ball, or slip it into Haaland, or slip it into Alvarez. Like do something else instead of holding it. And now you have two defenders. I get frustrated with that.
No, I get that, but here's my counter argument.
Mm.
If Mahrez was in his first year or even his second year, I'll take that argument on board. But when you're 5 years down the line and you are in, you can see the finishing line.
Yes.
This ain't the time.
No, I'm
I don't want to see inconsistent Mahrez anymore. Normally, when Mahrez gets to the end of the season, he's cooking. Just why everyone calls him Ramadan Mahrez. He got his hat-trick against Sheffield United. This is my issue with him. It's no good getting an hat-trick against Sheffield United. Thank you very much. He got us through. And then you stood still for 2 games afterwards.
All right, I'm going to say this. What I do want, if I'm going to be like, I want the world, I want everything. If I do want Mahrez to do something that I don't see enough of him do, is when he does bring it to his left, release that ball far post. Release that ball far post, because we saw him with that free kick. He served it up for Ake. Release that ball far post. If it's not Haaland, it's Grealish to get on the end of it, and I don't see enough of that. But
Look, you know what he's going to do? He's going to cut in on his left foot and go predictable.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This is why I said to you months ago, I'm not the greatest footballer, but I can tell you what Mahrez is going to do 5 minutes before he's done it. A wonderful free kick. That's what I want to see. But that's what I want to see. But against Fulham and against last night, he wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Even when he occupies space, and because he's pulling a defender, because Gundo actually made me aware of this, is there's now a vacancy. There's now a pocket where a ball can go over top if he releases the ball for someone else to play it. So I gotta chill. I don't want this video to be too long at the same time.
I fired him up, Cal.
Forrest goes, Mahrez plays well with KDB. The overlap, they do have a combo, but Mahrez does have to be more aggressive for us. I'm in total agreement with that one. You also had a comment a little earlier for us. I think I may have missed it. I think I may have missed it. Oh, no. I started, and Forrest, what are you doing here, man? What are you doing? Forrest goes, Pep is sabotaging Foden's career for not playing him in midfield. Now everyone believes Saka is better than Phil. Madness. I see what you did there. You got me to react because you said sabotaging. I don't agree, but the comparison of Saka and Phil, Adam's been telling me, Patrick's been telling me in the group chat, these comparisons are nonsense, and I agree. When you have a player and quote unquote dealing with surgery, dealing with an ankle injury, and being and not playing routinely, still having numbers that are being close or even better than what Saka's doing, who's playing consistent, we know who the better player is. And I like Saka.
How old's Foden? 22, 23?
23, yeah. And I think
he's got years to get into a Pep midfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't see many 21, 22-year-olds rolling out into a Pep midfield.
I agree. And
because that's the key area.
And to also point out, we bring ourselves back to the screen and we look. Mahrez, corner, takes the corner, kicks it, whips it in, and let's watch this play out. YouTube, do not copy strike me. This is strictly for review and analyzing purposes. But we see a clearance, and for some reason, let me bring that back. Mahrez, corner. Look at the technique. Look at the lean. Puts it into a great space. All right, West Ham tried to clear the ball. I'm pausing it. Look at Foden. I'm blocking him. Look at Foden. He's already looking at the ball. He's studying it. He's looking at the flight. And this is not easy. What he does in terms of timing this volley is not easy. Winds up to it, puts great contact on it. On net is key. If you're doing this, you put it on net, and he gets rewarded. He gets rewarded for the confidence. He gets rewarded for the skill, and he gets rewarded for a goal. And look at the team. Look at the team celebrate with him. Absolutely amazing. I gotta pause it. Do not copy strike me, YouTube. Let's watch it from a different angle. Look at this. Our star boy. No chance. I want to thank. Let me take this off screen. I want to thank the panelists today. I had a star-studded panelist. Look at the features that you're getting on Vader Games. Why Always Me? Episode 81. We had Pitch Points. Gundalorian, Carl in the building. We had True City fan Patrick, in the building, as well as the man Cunaway Martin and Adam, the man who runs Spaces. If you're trying to get the combos that sometimes don't happen on YouTube, check out Adam. Actually, let me put. I think I found a way to put this up. Let me put up their contacts. How do I do that again? Yes. So check out. These are their YouTube handles as well as Twitter handles, I believe, for Adam, and obviously their channels. The details to their channels, it's in the description. So make sure you check that out. And everyone in the comments, if you happen to not have liked the video yet, please do that right now. Hit that like button. And subscribe if you haven't already, and share this. DC in the building, join in. I'm just about to shut down, but he goes, hi, Vader. Hi, Martin. Hope you both are well. Trust me, we're great. Patrick, Carl, and Adam are good as well. Now, there's going to be a show on Sunday, 9 p.m. UK time. CE Intelligent Agendas. We're going to have a few things to discuss based off of what happens this weekend. So make sure you don't miss it. If you guys want to plug anything that's coming down, it's Thursday, anything you have Friday or Saturday, please let the people know.
Yeah. We may want to add another report onto the Madrid game on Sunday, I'm thinking. Because I know we all have our shows coming up.
Yeah.
But
Monday? You want to do it Monday?
And whatever, let's all decide, but we all need to be on the same page. I don't know if it's going to be on Martin's channel, your channel, Beta, Patrick's channel. Let's decide, because I have a dossier of information on Madrid. I mean, a big fat dossier.
Okay.
Let me give you an insight.
Sneak preview.
Okay?
Sneak preview.
Give you okay. How many times, and this is for Martin, this is for Veda, for Patrick and Adam. How many times has City played Madrid?
6 times.
How many times?
6 times. Six.
How many times has City won?
4 times, I swear, or 3.
How many times has City lost?
1.
Yeah, 1. No, twice. We got beat twice in the Bernabeu.
Yeah, and the margin was just by a goal each time.
And they were both the exact same in the last few minutes.
So, another question for you. How many times have City played Madrid under Guardiola?
4 times. 4
4
times.
times.
I see where you're going. I see where you're going.
Come on Sunday, let's talk about this.
Okay, I'm with that. I like that. I like how
But
he took that. I like how he took it.
The one thing is, let's just keep it secretive between us, though, because I know some people are going to probably try to steal ideas, but let's just keep it privately between us.
Listen, they can steal the headline, they can't steal the people. We have Adam here, Patrick, we have the Martin, Vader, myself. They can't steal the content. Yeah. They can steal the headline, not the content. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's organize something, guys. Let's open up the dossier.
I'm down with it.
I have it already posted up, you know.
There we go. We all need to be one in this next week. All of us. Saturday, Tuesday, and then Everton. We need to be one. We need to find the energy, the juju, to push this team over the line. And it comes by being one.
I agree.
By the way, my Everton tickets have arrived.
There we go.
Goodison Park. I will be there.
Have your tea and honey so the vocals are good, because you're gonna have to sing your heart out.
My away shirt to Madrid has arrived. I'm gonna crack it open on Tuesday.
It's gonna be a busy week. I've got Leeds Saturday. Not going to Madrid, sadly. Then Everton, and then obviously the return leg on the Wednesday. The big one at the Etihad.
Oh, Napoli are losing. Edison is huge.
They don't want to win that league, do they?
No, man, they're taking their time. It's hilarious. But again, I want to thank you all, and I know some of you are joining late. I keep trying to tweak the timing of it, but honestly, I got to fit this in with when I can actually between presentations and some of my work.
And don't forget, I've got a show tonight as well, 9:30.
Yes.
Thursday night chat. We're going to talk Haaland and the Ballon d'Or. We're going to talk Leeds, and we're also going to talk. Sorry, Vader, cover your ears.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk. The treble is on.
All right, let me do this.
Max, can you earmuff it for me? We are gonna get so.
I got it. Yeah, I earmuff it every time that T word comes up. But
Let's
I
go.
look
Let's
forward
go.
to the show. I look forward to the
Mate,
show.
you can't ignore it, mate. 5 wins. 5 wins.
Here we are.
Can't
Here we
ignore
are.
it.
Guess
I'm
what?
not-
Hey, Vader, I
Yeah.
just pulled up my notes, my pre-game notes last year. First leg. Let me share my screen. Let me just share my screen.
Oh, actually,
You guys see my screen?
no.
Hold on a sec. Let me just share my screen. Let me make sure. There we go. Okay, you see it now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What does it say?
Actually, it's a little. Oh, hold on. Let me make you. How do I do this?
I just saw this right now.
Solo layout. Is that what I do? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
City versus Real first leg. Yeah.
I think you should read it out for people to see it because I think
save
the
that
writing's a bit.
content. Save that content. I like that.
Right?
Okay.
Look at all that.
He's organized. This is this is no joke. When you think people are coming off the top of their dome, they're freestyling this? Nah. This is preparation.
This was from last year, the game last year, before the first leg.
Okay.
What we need to do, what they do, what we need to do to win. So, on all our channels, we're ready.
Okay.
We are ready.
Okay. You see it. Don't miss it. Promos are here. You heard what Martin's got coming through. You heard that Patrick already set up. He's already set up for the bid that we're going to talk Real Madrid. So please don't miss it. New to the channel, subscribe, hit that like button. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show. This is Vader Games TV, the newest episode of Why Always Me, episode 81. All right. And first things first, my peoples always come first. And my peoples, this show, you did your thing and you supported so well. So thank you again. I'm Vader Games. You heard from Pitch Points. You heard from Mancunian Way. You heard from Adam. And you heard from True City Fan. Catch us next. I'm out.